Well, we're getting ready for an absolutely epic battle in the Wrangler Final Four Round as we get ready, Spud, to take a look at two of the best broncs on the planet.
This is the funnest event all year because you got Chuckulator and Lunatic Fringe. And we all know 2011, we seen Ryan Elshere come in there. He's 90 points on the Lunatic. Merritt Smith was 88 on Chuckulator. Last year, Ryan Elshere bails out there, wins the event again, but he does it on Chuckulator. Steve Sutton named Chuckulator after throwing Chuck Schmidt off. This is what they write storybooks about right here. I can't wait to see this. I'm so excited.
Yeah, one of the first times they bucked Chuckulator as a young stud, absolutely just chili whacked Chuck Schmidt, and that's when they put Chuckulator on that horse for a name. Kelly, you've got some more information about Chuckulator and Chuck Schmidt.
I tell you what, guys, talking to Chuck Schmidt, getting on Chuckulator, I couldn't even get him to talk about it. I think he's had a few lessons with this horse before, like you guys have talked about. I tell you what, the matchups are all there. Cort Scheer, Lunatic Fringe, never had the horse before. I would bet money that after he's about 88, 90 points, he jumps off and waves to the crowd.
All right, Kelly and Hawkeye, there's a couple of other horses we haven't mentioned, but they're not bad either.
No, they're not. They got Sankey's horse called Shindig. J.J. Elshere, our season leader's got him. And then Louis Brunson come up with J.S.'s Verde. I know we're doing all the hoopla on them too, but there's two other bronc riders, guys.
This will be a bronc riding like we have not seen all year. I can't wait. Let's see something. Let's get it on.
Let's get the party started with Louis Brunson of Rapid City. He's on Verde, the number 6 rider in points, on the J.S. Rodeo bucking horse in the final round.
We've seen a lot out of Louis Brunson this year. I expect a little bit more right here. Look how it gets started. Horse jumping and kicking. Everything looks pretty good. Missed a couple of licks at the end, though, and that's really going to cost him.
You know, I think when you go back to this replay, what I was seeing, Hawkeye, is this left foot. It doesn't look like it quite gets all the way to the front end. Looks like it's hitting right there at the shoulder, ain't getting quite to the neck. Just a little bit off. I think if he had finished that thing a little stronger, he'd be a little bigger score.
Wasn't getting a hold with it either. After the spur out here, watch it from the front. You can see the space between his foot and the horse front end, not getting a hold, but he hung in there. He just didn't make a good spur ride.
Well, it's a 75 score for Louis Brunson. 75. He'll total 148 on a pair of rides, and we go to the number 1 man this season. Here's J.J. Elshere, 2 wins this year. Roanoke and Toledo. He's on Shindig from Sankey.
Here we go. All right, first move, spur out, missed the second jump, caught right up. Look at this. Uh-oh, right foot's in the back. JJ, that doesn't usually happen.
Hung that right foot a couple of times during the 8 seconds. I don't know if the judges will see it.
On our Rocky replay here, you saw he's not quite getting to the front end, right at the flat of the shoulders, not getting a hold. This is keeping him pulled a little bit forward. He's aggressive, he's just not quite getting there. See, as you watch it from the front here, you see that right foot hang in the back, left foot kept moving. Don't know what really caused it. He wasn't getting pulled too far, or he didn't have too much rain. I don't really know.
77 is the score. Good enough to take the lead on 2. 153 with 2 big rides now. Here's Cort Scheer up against Lunatic Fringe of Birch Rodeo Company, the big, powerful stud, and the number 3 man in points of the season.
I see him nod his head. Ooh, they kicked the gate open. Good spur out. Look at this horse and look at this ride. Snap those feet, get a hold of the front end. Look at this. I mean, man, oh man, does that look fun. Hey.
Yep, Kelly called it. Kelly called it. He's going to ride him tap for tap, and then he's going to step off there at the end.
He sure did a good job. Look at this, guys. Over the points, every jump, lift on his rein, fast feet, getting a hold with those spurs. I love to watch this guy ride Bronc.
I do too.
Hawkeye, how many times did he spur over his rein here?
Oh, at least 3, maybe 4.
1, 2.
Can you see that one? There you go. There's another one.
There's another. He just like we talked about last week, he is strumming that rein like a banjo string. 87 points. 87, and we've got a battle in the saddle between these two guys right now. Chuck Schmidt just needs a ride. All he needs is an 82 for the championship, but that's a big need because he's never stayed on Chuckulator before, last year's Pro Rodeo Horse of the Year.
Kind of running down the gate right there, but look at this. We're getting tapped off. We're going for it.
It's a different day. He's going to make the whole thing worthwhile today, boys. I am so glad for Chuck Schmidt and Chuckulator.
Well, they were both absolutely on their game. Chuckulator had the snap, he had the kick on the back end, and Chuck Schmidt is all smiles because he knows this is going to be huge.
Oh, I mean, look at it on the replay. Going to the front, turn his toes out. Chuckulator blowing in the air and kicking. This looks like fun right here.
Oh, that horse has got some kick. Kelly, tell us about it.
I knew he was nerved up, but I knew he was ready to get on that Bronc. There's a time in everybody's life when you draw the caliber of horse like that, and all you want to do is be over 90. One of the most spectacular Bronc rides that I've ever seen.
So that will tie for the highest score in pro Roughstock history, the 91. Good-looking day for Chuck Schmidt. Got all he needed and more, 172 his total. He's going to win the championship. 10 points ahead of Cort Scheer. J.J. Elshere finishes third, and Louis Brunson rounds out the top four. Kelly's down there trying to get a word with the champion, Chuck Schmidt.
I tell you what, one of the matchups that we were so excited to see tonight was Chuck Schmidt on Chuckulator. One exciting fact about that horse was actually named after you. Tell the folks why he was actually named after you.
Couldn't ride him. I got on him in their annual bucking horse sale at Stock Show, and he bucked me off. A couple years later, I asked Steve if I could get on him again just to practice. And so they ran him into a tiny little round pen with a couple bucking chutes in the barn in the middle of the winter. I get in and out on him, and I last about 1 or 2 jumps, if that. And I was like, wow.
Tell us a little bit about what it was like to ride him this time. I mean, he bucked, but how did it feel? Like, take us through it if you can.
I was kind of ready for him to run down that gate, and he did a lot faster than I anticipated. I didn't mark him out, which I was pretty fortunate. They gave me a free roll. But boy, once we got rolling, it felt fantastic.
91 points, ties the record for the PRS highest scored ride. Being here in person and watching it, it was fabulous, man. It was spectacular, electrifying, all that you'd ever want to see in a Bronc ride. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
All right, thanks, Kelly. Our season leader remains J.J. Elshere, but the runner-up here, Cort Scheer, moves into the second spot, just about $400 behind him. It's that close. Troy Krauser is third, then Cody Wright and Eric Wolford. Louis Brunson stays at number 6, but look at Chuck Schmidt. He moves to the number 7 spot and is suddenly in the thick of things when it comes to qualifying for the PRS Finals. Time to find out who made the Kershaw cut in tonight's Cutting Edge Performance Highlights presented by Kershaw Knives. In bareback riding, the champion for the second straight event is Stephen Peebles, powered by an 82-point ride on Birch Rodeo's War Pig. He becomes the second multiple event bareback champion this year. In bull riding, hats off to the contractors Flying V and Birch, as the riders were 0 for 4. An honorable mention to Tyson Donovan, who got halfway home before Zombie Zoo hit the ejection seat button. And in the saddle bronc riding, wow, what a night for Chuck Schmidt. He rides his namesake Chuckulator, the National Horse of the Year, for the first time and rolls to 91 points, the best score we've seen all season long. Next, Pro Roughstock takes a short summer break before we resume with our fall schedule from Loveland, Colorado, and the PRS Frontier Challenge from the Budweiser Event Center. Get your tickets online right now at prstickets.com. Also, we invite you to be a part of the Roughstock Revolution by joining the PRS Fan Nation on Facebook and Twitter to keep up with the latest on what's happening. Meanwhile, log on to ProRoughstock.com for more video, all the scores, news, and information from the PRS Tour during the 2013 season. For Spud Whitman, Hawkeye Henson, and Kelly Timberman, I'm Justin McKee. Thanks for joining us. What a ride. See you next time.